Gershenson.
Well, happy Friday to you, Eric Holtman.
That's great. Yeah, it's the end of the week. Some big things happening, I hope, for your weekend.
Yes, yes. Let's see.
All right, let's get
Exciting,
to the show.
exciting things that are involve more sleep than usual. So I am excited about.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Hey, well, that's good because that ties nicely into what we're going to talk about today, which is your health, but specifically the health of your business.
Ah,
Does that sound good?
that sounds great. By the
So,
way,
we
you might
do.
want to explain all the streamers behind you.
Yeah, that was for a little bit of a party we had. I was wondering I'm awake. No, it wasn't last night, but that's a different story. We got blue and white, and I might explain that later. But Dan, you might notice.
I don't want people to think that you booby trapped the house or something like that. You know.
Oh, no, no. But if you pull on this one, it's all over. It's not good. Um, hey, so you might notice that I'm standing in the Uber Blue kitchen today. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to make a recipe for you, something healthy. You ready?
Ready? Do it.
Okay, so what we have here, Dan, welcome. Oh, actually, welcome to the Food Network. Not really. What we have here is kale. You see that? Nice and fresh kale from beautiful Costco. There's different varieties of kale. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pack a 1 cup. I'll put the recipe in the comments or the description of this. So got about 1 cup there. So that's going to go right into our blender here. Dan, you ever have a kale smoothie?
You gonna put something good on top of that, like?
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna pour a little 1 or 3/4 cup of milk. And actually, you can use different kinds of milk. I've got a very ripe banana. I love bananas.
Oh, what is happening?
Actually, I heard a story that the riper the banana, the better it is for you.
Uh,
The peel.
this better be good.
You know what I like about bananas, Dan?
What?
They're appealing.
Oh God, this is just getting worse by the moment.
I know. I'm Chef Eric. I'm going to show you how to be healthy. So anyway, so while I'm doing this, okay. Well, actually, here let's do this. I'm going to put 1 cup of ice. So maybe a few more. I'm gonna overflow it a little bit with ice. So we're gonna put that in there like that. Are you following me so far?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's good.
Okay, and this is important. Put the lid on that. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna put that in there. Get ready. Can you here? Wait. I want to make sure everybody can see how green this is going to be. All right. I was going to make a frog in the blender joke, but I don't think I'm going to. Uh-oh. All right. Hey Dan, which setting should I use? Frappe?
I think you want to.
There it goes.
Oh.
We're just going to chop up that ice a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is beautiful. Okay. It's getting nice and green. Run for your lives! Run for your lives! Women and children first! There's an iceberg! What's happening? Okay.
Oh yeah. That looks very appealing.
Yeah, well,
Boy.
you know, I want to blend it one more time. Dan, I wish you could be here. Do you know I just took off the lid before I unplugged it, so I'm going to try this here.
Kale and banana.
Kale and banana, but actually when I was looking up recipes, and I want to talk about that, so here, wait. Wow. I feel incredible.
That's good. That's good.
But as I understand it, you can put anything in it. You can put, blueberries and all sorts. I even found a recipe actually that talked about it talked about putting jalapenos in there.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. You know what this needs? I
No,
think
no.
I think it needs a bunch of ice cream and maybe
Oh,
some.
well, that, yeah, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I think it needs 3 or 4 scoops of Ben and Jerry's ice cream in it.
Oh, now you're talking.
So Dan, while I was thinking that it might be kind of fun for our viewers to watch me make a recipe, maybe I'm rethinking that a little bit. Um, but what I was thinking is, um, recipes and food. We're foodies, right, Dan? Love food. So actually, I'm wearing my Paradise Pup shirt. Talk about healthy. It's over there on River Road in Mount Prospect or Des Plaines, I think. Anyway, Guy Fieri from the Food Network went over there, and he was over there, and he did his whole show there. But there's a tremendous sense of community that surrounds the food industry. You've got all recipes. You got this thing, and I love what's cool is somebody posts a recipe, and then I want to call this crowdsourcing because there's other people that say I can make that recipe better. Do you ever get on and look for recipes?
Sure.
So as I was thinking about that for people, for businesses, the recipe has to be one that works for you, and you have to get people excited about contributing and commenting, and that's whether you're watching the Food Network or you're online looking for recipes. This is a culture that sticks together. There's also some people that are some naysayers about the food and the recipes, but as an overall thing, if you could get that kind of participation for your business, you've got the right recipe. Don't you think?
I do. I do. I think that's the perfect recipe. And I think that you made a brief mention of community, which is important too. So I think that's what we're always striving for is something that it's always a work in progress, but how can we turn some of our website work, for example, into more of a community-focused type of thing where we can, as a group, participate rather than it feeling like a brochure. So think about that in terms of for your particular business. What is your community or what is the larger problem that you're trying to help solve? Beyond just selling a product or selling a service, is there something bigger at work here that you can, kind of foster some conversation on?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was adjusting down so you don't have to look at the streamers so much. Another fun thing to do with shakes is to do this. Can you hear that? You ever do that with a milkshake? But you're right, absolutely, absolutely. And so one other thing that was in the news. Oh, by the way, did you know that? I don't know if you took advantage of this, but Wednesday was National Honesty Day. I love all of the holidays that are sort of non-holidays, but they've created these holidays, and pretty much there's a holiday for everything as far as I know. But one of the other big things in the news this week, and this is important, but even though the patch has been made, Internet Explorer had a security flaw, so much so that the National Homeland Security actually called them out on it, and so it was pretty serious, and they told people to stop using Internet Explorer. But the patch has been made, and if you're using Internet Explorer, which I'm really not a big fan. Dan, do you use Internet Explorer?
I am not either.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I am not. No, but I'm sure. I've known some web developers who are not fans of it either. I think because it seems like when they develop something, then it's, oh, I'm in Internet Explorer 7, or I'm in Explorer 6. This is designed for Internet Explorer 7. Can you adjust this, or there seems to be some sort of a disconnect between the versions and then sometimes the website that they ultimately get that they're like, oh well, I'm a version or two below what this was designed for.
Well,
I,
and there's a reason for that. When you
I
design courses or websites, they have to run on everything. And so, our web guys would be designing for Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google, Chrome, and Safari. But you do have to kind of go to the lowest common denominator. But certainly, if you're using XP, it was a huge deal for the XP users, very vulnerable. So my point of that is, or I've got two actually, Dan, is that you got to make sure that your security patches are updated, that you've done all your Microsoft updates, and this ties nicely into the health of your business too, where if you're not watching over your IT and your servers and maintaining all the updates, you can have a big, big problem, not to mention backing up all of your files and so forth. And the cloud has become hugely important for that.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with some people about this. We still uh, are still in a time when people have not completely adopted the cloud yet, and there's still some skeptics who are questioning whether or not they should put how much of their stuff they should put in the cloud. Um, and one of my friends, David Panich, who runs a great company and is involved with technology every day, really had a great thing who said their entire business is dependent on, if you look at Dropbox or Google Drive, their entire business is, the success of it is predicated on your stuff being secure. If your stuff is secure, but it suddenly gets hacked, then their whole business could just go away like that. If there's some kind of security breach. So being on a Dropbox or a Google Drive could be just as safe, if not safer, than any traditional type of thing where you have it on your laptop, or even external drives. You can lose an external drive, or it can burn up, some kind of accident or something like that. So putting things in the cloud, I'm a big proponent of it. My personal favorite is Dropbox.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Carbonite, or
Oh,
Carbonite, and you can get that for really, if you're
yeah, yeah,
using it for home use, there's not a lot of money involved there. But certainly iCloud and all of these things, and I kind of, back to your point about the external drive, it's kind of funny to me when somebody goes, oh, but I'm using a Seagate hard drive, or I'm using Time Machine. It's okay, but somebody breaks into your house or your business and they steal all your servers or all the equipment, it's gone,
yeah.
clearly. So anyway, so if you're not using the cloud, um, give us a call. We've got some recommended partners. Dan mentioned one. We've got a few others that we can certainly refer you to. Dan, do you still have time to talk about one more thing? Because it was kind of interesting to hear about Google Plus.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a lot of buzz out there about Google. Hold on.
How's the shake? Or
Mm,
smoothie, I should say.
Kale smoothies. Just can't get enough. Um, there was a bit of buzz about Google Plus going away. What did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard that, and I don't think I would believe it, because I would be personally shocked if that happened. I don't think it is. I think there might be some chatter about it and some evolution of it, but I don't see it going away. I really don't. I know it's Google's nature to roll out things and then pull some back, and I've been annoyed by Google plenty of times with things that I've liked and then they've taken away. So I'm
What was
like,
one of your favorite things that disappeared, Dan? What was one of your favorite Google things that disappeared? Do you remember?
um, I'm probably in the minority here, but I really liked a tool they had called iGoogle.
Mm.
I liked Google Reader. Both
Oh,
of
yeah.
both of these are really good for sort of organizing some of your daily things that you're reading, and organizing your life basically. And so I found them very productive. Particularly Google Reader, I like. But yeah, then it was like, oh, well, that's going away.
Well, of
So,
course, I check sources, and you're right. Google can spend $1 billion on something, and it goes away, and it's gone. So I check
but
some sources.
I would not I would not think that this is going away. I mean, it would make about as much sense as Gmail going away. I mean, I don't think this is their. They've gotten some people to adopt it, and I do think more importantly, there's a tie-in to some degree. I see a bit of a tie-in to search results with Google Plus, and why wouldn't there be really? So there's nothing that, without a shadow of a doubt, says that you being on Google Plus helps your search results, but I think there is sort of an indication that there is, and
Well, I
and
think part of it,
why not?
yeah, part of it was being driven though by a guy at Google that I mean, what happened? This is how I see this happening. Is I think the calling it Google Plus is going to change. It's going to still be there, but they were trying to make Google Plus mandatory if you signed up for new users, if you signed up for Gmail, for example. And I think it's just going to become Google or whatever. If you're in your account, you're on G Plus, but they're not going to call it that. It's kind of like someday they're going to stop calling it social media because everything is social media. Everybody should know that. Everything you're doing right now is social media.
Well, I think and this is my. I hope I don't get on a. I'm not trying to get on a lengthy rant here, Eric. Believe me, but
Do it. We've got 8 hours.
yeah, yeah. No, but I really feel like sometimes people are just sharing stuff to just share it, and like not even giving it any commentary whatsoever. I gotta say, like, it's happening. It's happened a lot on Google Plus, but it happens on LinkedIn, and I was actually getting into a debate with somebody about that, about like what they consider spam, and and so she goes, well, what is spam for you may be spam, not be spam for someone else. And I said, if I'm seeing your face 8 times in a row, it's spam. If I'm in my stream, if in my stream I am seeing your stuff that much, back to back to back to back, it's spam. Okay, I don't care. And if you don't have any commentary at all and you're just throwing links against the board, okay, let's not call it spam. Let's just call it extremely annoying.
Yeah, and I know who you're talking about. I know two people right off the bat. And do you want to know their names? I'm going to write them
No, no, no. But no, I mean, and I think no matter what, our social networks, whether they are Google Plus or LinkedIn or Facebook, they suffer when we can't give our context to the stories we see. So whether it's us actually coming up with blog posts, us coming up with the material, or sharing a link, but then also saying, give 2 to 3 sentences on your perspective here and there. Don't just like barf up stories into the stream and just don't have any commentary on it. It doesn't, to me, it's not that it doesn't add anything, but it doesn't give, it becomes spammy if we all do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And
that's where our social networks are, I think, not at risk of going away, but the quality of them goes away. And this is why Facebook decided, okay, we're going to start charging for some things that you really value, that you really, if you really want to sponsor a post, a story, or you want to, pay a little bit more for visibility, then yeah, we're going to do it because we don't want the quality of our streams to suck, because we don't want it to be complete promotional BS all the way through the streams so that people leave the social network. And that's an issue for every social network.
And when you barf into the stream, Dan, you're damaging the watershed. or don't across the streams. It's bad.
Exactly.
You know,
Automate your stuff. Automate your stuff with something like Buffer, but as you're buffering, don't throw like things in there within an hour.
Right.
Try to put some things in there. Like you can do 8 posts in a day. I really don't. Nobody cares. But maybe like once an hour, and then each one of them, if you can, or as many of those as possible, try to, what's your perspective on that story?
So here's rule of thumb. Don't post at 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, 10:04, and so forth.
Don't do that.
As I was looking things up about the noise about Google Plus going away, just real quick statistics, and this is social networks used by U.S. millennials versus non-millennial internet users. And this is last year, but millennials considered 16 years old to 34 years old, non-millennials 35 to 64 years old. Facebook, and the percentages for the millennials first, and then the non-millennials. Facebook, 81% to 66%. Twitter, 48%, 29%. Instagram is in third, with 40% to the millennials and 11% to the non-millennials. Pinterest, 39% to 20%. Coming in at fifth is Google Plus at 33% versus 17%. So, maybe they just felt like, well, and some people are saying, Facebook outspent them and they did all that. And, it could be. And so I don't think Google's terribly worried about Facebook, to be honest.
No. I think the mistake that people made when Google Plus came out was comparing it directly to Facebook. Or said one of the two was going away as a result of it. Google Plus is launched and Facebook is going down. I don't think I ever thought that. So they both have their own special qualities, and perhaps, let's face it, you might have a lot of family, let's say, for example, that are still on Facebook. I know I do, and they're not going over to Google Plus. I seem to have more professional contacts over there. So every network's going to have its own merit.
So that's right. Stop comparing yourself to others unless it's by height, and find the right recipe for your business. And Dan, would you to kind of and I want to thank everybody, our buzzers out there every week. You are what makes this show so special.
Oh, wait! Before you turn it on,
Yeah.
Let's wish a happy birthday to one of our buzzers.
Oh.
I think his birthday was not today, but yesterday. So, Gordon, thanks for watching and happy birthday.
Wow, I didn't know it was his birthday. That's awesome. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Gordon. Happy birthday to you. Kale. Dan, so for the Weekly Buzz, I'm Eric Hultman.
And I'm Dan Gershenson.
We'll see you next time on The Buzz.
Take care.